Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of Apologetically Me. I'm Maggie.
I'm Wanda.
And we're here with part 3 of favorite movies from that era, specifically 2010 to 2019. But before we get started, Wanda, tell the people what you got going on.
Okay, first off, I'm not naked. I just need
Thank
to put
you.
that out there in the beginning because the way that it looks right now, it looks like I'm naked. Um, and the second thing is that I've booked my birthday trip to New York. I got a pretty good deal on it. Shout out to American Express credit cards. If you don't have one, you should sign up for one. Even the free ones offer really great benefits, which included $250 off, $500 of United if you book through United Airlines' like web page, I guess. So it ended up saving us $250. And
Wow.
now I've been nonstop watching what to eat in New York videos, and I have a map of food places that I want to go to.
Hmm. What are a couple?
Let me pull up my map
Oh, you haven't
actually.
memorized the map yet?
No, I have not, because some of these names are like kind of strange. Like people don't name things like memorable things unless you go there all the time, I guess. No.
Every time I'm in New York, I spend an obscene amount of money because I'm with Amy, like my friend who's an investment banker, or used to be. She makes bank and she's like, let's go to Michelin Star. I was like, okay, I don't want to say no.
Those are not the type of places that I'm going to look at. So coffee shops. I have a place called Sweet Moments, Core Coffee, Urban Backyard. I'm not going to list all of them. This is like I'm just going to list the ones that I can pronounce and that I easily spot on my list. Bagel and Small Snacks, Essa Bagel, Brooklyn Bagel and Coffee Company, Liberty Bagels Midtown. For pizza, I have Scars Pizza, but I also heard Joe's Pizza is good. Lunch, Sweet Greens, Bondi Sushi, which I heard on YouTube Shorts, has like a $32 like omakase like lunch thing.
$32. Do you know how
Yeah.
much omakase is here? The cheapest one I could find was like $100.
Yes, but I think it's only like you only get two, like you get an appetizer, um, two or four like sushi things, and then you get like two hand rolls or something like that. It's like not bad, but it's not like amazing.
Hmm.
It's still cheap.
You don't even like raw fish that much.
Yeah, but it's about the experience.
Good vibes.
Yeah, because like I see like I'm such a like trend follower sometimes, and I'm like I see so much omakase on my like news feed and stuff like on YouTube, and I'm like okay, like I feel like I have to try it because of this.
I'm glad you're immersing yourself into trying new things and forcing yourself to try things you normally do not like.
Yeah, I mean it's not that I don't like them. I just think it's like wait like because omakase is like it's like the like sushi rice. It always comes with like
Mm-hmm.
sushi rice, and I find that like it's wasteful to eat the rice at sushi if you can just eat the raw fish.
Mm-hmm. Retweet.
Yeah. So I'm just really like it's more about like bang for your buck, more than like not really liking it as much. And it's supposed to be like good quality sushi, right?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I guess the only good quality we've had is that one place we love in Kitchener, but yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Um Also on the list Shake Shack because I
Classic.
have never been. Yeah. Ice cream and boba. Boba guys, milk and cream cereal bar, Levain Bakery.
Ooh.
Uh yeah, Whipped Urban Dessert Lab. And then there's donuts and then a special um place Flushing, which we might not even trek to because it's so far away.
Hmm.
But it's like the better Chinatown, and it's like where all the YouTubers go and eat if they're Asian.
If you're white, don't even think about it.
Yeah, like they're not even going to serve you there. You know that scene in Always Be My Maybe where if you don't speak Cantonese, they're like kind of rude to you in the dim sum shop.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically that.
Nice. I hate it, but I love it.
Yeah. Exclusivity. But no, it's fine. It's just like things are cheap there. There's a lot of good like I don't know, Asian eats there and stuff. But it is I originally thought that it was like Manhattan, New York, but it's not. It's in Queens.
Oof.
I too thought Manhattan would be like even just like the island itself. Like I thought that would be is it an island?
Mhm.
Okay. The island itself is like more walkable. Like I assumed like walking from end to end would take maybe like what 40, 50 minutes, but it's long. It's like LA.
Oh god. I would say LA is worse. I think you'll like New York more.
I think so too. And I don't know why. Like
You're an East Coast gal.
maybe maybe truly that is it. Or like cuz we went to LA before and I just didn't love it as much as I thought I was going to love it. Went to Vancouver, didn't love that as much as I thought. Maybe
East Coast
maybe.
gal. I mean, you like
East Coast.
Toronto, so East Coast gal.
Yeah. And Montreal.
East Coast, yeah, true.
Yeah.
Affordable
Anyways.
foods. This foodie adventure. I am so jealous. I have been to New York like 3 times, and I have never gone on this foodie experience. Take pics.
I did I have invited you multiple
Yeah,
times
I
onto the
know.
trip.
Sad.
So
I mean, wait, when are you going again?
I am going
14th?
I also haven't memorized this. The 11th to the 17th of August.
Oh, okay. Good to know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is a weekend in there because you did say, why aren't you going on the weekend?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'll look into it. If one of my vacations falls through, then
Wow. Okay.
I'm there.
Jordan would like you guys there.
Aw. Nick was like, yeah, why aren't we going? And I was like, you have 3 weeks. Calm down. You're already using 2 of them.
But I am planning my own birthday trip. Oh. I think I talked about this last time. It's like, if you don't want disappointment, do everything yourself. Well, it's like...
yeah, we'll have a local birthday. Make Jordan plan that one.
No.
Oh.
If I want things to be done the way that I want them to be done, it's not that I don't trust him to plan like a good birthday. Like I do, and I think he would. But I am too much of a control freak to wait for him to spring into action. And I say this because if we even waited a couple of hours, our trip would have been $200 more expensive.
I like it because it's like East Coast personality meets West Coast personality. This is truly where they diverge.
It's just like it's like that alone is like okay, like if you want what you want, then you have to do it yourself, which is such an like Asian mom mentality.
Mm-hmm.
Again, it's not that I don't trust him. I think he'd do great, but he just doesn't do things as fast as I would like him to be done.
Sorry, Jordan.
Jordan.
Sorry, you're slow.
I don't think he minds. Like, I think he prefers that I do things and then just like consult him if I need help. But he actually prefers that I don't because he's very much an easygoing person. Anyways, what's your update for this week?
I got 2 updates. Accutane. This is week 3 now. I think, yeah. So I was feeling kind of like lightheaded and dizzy, and I wasn't sure if it was because like I went to Wonderland and I was motion sickness before, but now this time every ride makes me motion sickness. And I took a gravel beforehand because I felt like this would happen. Every ride made me so sore, and I was still kind of dizzy like the day after, and then the day after that I was still dizzy too. So I was like, oh my god, maybe it's my medication. And then Nick was like, oh my god, I'm kind of dizzy too. So we took a COVID test. We're both negative. So it's not my medication. I mean, maybe it could have been, but I took it last night. Everything's good. My face is still yucky. I'm still able to stay home from work because I was like, listen, it's not great. Please don't look at me. So I am not wearing any makeup. I'm showing the world how my journey is. Knock on wood, I don't have to wear makeup when this is over, but we'll see. Second update. I was telling Wanda, I went to Good Life, the gym next door, for their fitness assessment. I met with a man named Dobby. He's the manager at Good Life. He was great. He was like, let's look at your foundation first, like your mobility, stretching and everything. And there are a lot of things wrong with me, apparently, which were actually really great that he pointed out because I never knew. The way I walk is I walk toes first instead of heel first. Like I kind of walk on my tippy toes, and I was like, holy shit. I remember I did that as a kid, and my mom would like keep pointing it out, but I kept doing it because I felt like the floor was always so dirty and I had to be quiet too because my dad was always sleeping. So I would always walk on my tippy toes. And that has continued to now. And he was like, yeah, that's not good. The way you walk is like very strange. You should fix that because that's bad and you're putting a lot of unnecessary stress onto your feet. And he was like, you walk and stand a lot, but you're doing it improperly. And he was like pointing at my knees too, and he's like, there's a lot of hypertension in your knees because they kind of like bend forward. I'm going to show you next time I see you in person. But like he said, my knees should be like this, but they're like this. They kind of go in together. And he was like, that's really bad. Like you could tear your ACL, like you can't squat properly because of that. Like it's just going to result in a lot of unnecessary harm to you in your future. And he's like, and you're young now, so it's good that like we're trying to fix this now before it gets really bad. Where else? My shoulders. I hunch all the time. And he was like, you need to fix your posture. Your shoulders should be like straight up. And I always do this because I'm at my desk working. And when I raised my arms, it was uneven. It didn't raise like properly. You could see like one arm was like strong. My left arm for some reason is stronger than my right arm. And even when I'm like lifting forward, my left arm goes up faster. So everything about my stretching and mobility was bad. Yeah, it was poor. He said my core was great for some reason, which is like, I'll take it. Even when I was doing a push exercise, yeah, he was like, you're not using your chest properly, you're using more of your shoulder. And I was like, holy shit, no one's ever pointed that out to me yet. So I think that'd be good. And then we like went in for like a consultation part, and he was basically telling me like, this is how much weight you need to lose, this is how much body fat you need to lose. He's telling me I need to eat 4 to 6 meals a day, which is insane to me because I was like, yeah, I eat like 2 meals. And he's like, no, that's not enough. And I was like, okay. And he was like, how much water do you drink? For reference, this is my water bottle. For the listeners, it's about 1.2 liters. And I said, I fill this up about 2-3 times a day. And he said, well, during this consultation, you haven't drank a sip of water. And in my head, I'm like, it's because you scare the shit out of me. Like, I'm too nervous to drink any water. And he put, I drink 5 glasses of water a day. And he was like, it should be like minimum 10. And I was like, but like I do. And he was like, well, we're going to go with a low number here because I don't think you do. I was like, I don't like where this is going. And I told him I ate 2 meals. And he was like, okay. So 2 meals, that means you get about 2 servings of veggies a day. It should be about 6 to 8. And I was like, okay. And he's like, your protein, probably not enough too, because you're only eating 2 meals. I was like, yeah, I mean, that's true. And you could say that for anyone too. But yeah, so he said the first 6 weeks, we're going to work on my foundation, my mobility, stretching and everything. And then we would do body weight resistance and everything. So it'd be a phase approach. And I was like, okay, whatever. I think it's good. Like, personal trainer pushes me. And then we get to the money part. And let me just read you the numbers. It is an insane amount of number. 1 year, 3 times a week, $396 bi-weekly. And then I said, no, this is a little bit too much. He said, okay, we have another one. 6 months, 3 times a week, $414 bi-weekly. And I was like, what the hell? Why is the price going up? And then he said, okay, what about for you, 1 year, 1 to 2 times a week, $264 bi-weekly. And I was still like, holy shit, that means each session is going to be $130. And he was like, we'll be with you like every step of the way. Like, you'll be motivated to go to the gym because, you know, someone will be there watching you and monitoring you, and you know, like, you can make progress and stuff. Like, we're a team. And he kept saying like, let's do this. Let's get started today. And thankfully, I would have caved under that pressure because, you know, I give into peer pressure so easily. And I was like, oh, I only have my work phone on me. And he was like, oh, you're going to use your work credit card to pay for this? And I said, no, I have to think about this. I didn't think I'd be spending money today. And then he was like, okay, well, let's do this. Like, do you want to go back and get your credit card? And I said, no, can I take a picture and think about it? And he said, what do you need to think about? Like, you're investing in yourself. And I said, I have rent to pay. I have like a million things to pay. I have vacations and stuff coming up. I don't know if I can afford this right now. And he was like, Maggie, like, think about it. If you had to go to the doctor or like dentist or something, this is my prescription to you. Like, this is what you need to do to improve yourself. And he was like, in a year's time, you're going to be a new Maggie. You're going to be more attractive. You're going to have more confidence in yourself. Like, your sex life will improve. Like, everything will be better. And I was like, what the fuck? And now I feel like I'm being gaslit a little bit. And then I was like, okay, well, thank you. But, like, I have to think about this. Can I take a picture and I'll call you if anything? And he was like, okay, when are you going to call me? What time today? Like, I need a yes or a no. I was like, okay, let me think about it. Anyways, I think he was great, thanks to Dobby, but just the ending part kind of left a sour taste in my mouth and kind of made me a little sad, not gonna lie. I teared up a little bit in my head because I was like, man, am I just like the ugly fat version of myself right now? Anyways, that's my update.
I can't believe this wasn't like your beef.
I have a crush. I didn't want to make it a negative thing.
Okay. I have comments and I have questions.
Okay.
Did he tell you that you don't sit properly?
Yeah, that too. He was like, my squats don't go low enough. And he said, like, because of your knees too, you're leaning more towards like one side. Like, it looks unstable.
When he says that you don't go low enough, how low did you go? Like, did you go to 90 degrees or did you go lower? Oh, okay.
I did not go to 90. I think when he pointed out, he was like, it goes to 53 degrees. I was like, oh shit, okay. That's bad.
That's very exact. Yeah. Okay. I'm with him on that then. Mm-hmm. Don't take nutritional advice from a personal trainer unless they're like a nutritional type person. Because like I've read a lot about this on like Reddit and other like people like saying about their experiences and stuff. And no matter what you're doing, they'll tell you you're doing it wrong. So like, for example, like you eating 2 meals a day, and if that's what works for you, I think that is great as long as you're getting in enough protein if your goal is to gain muscle, which like his comment about protein, like probably correct. I think most people don't get enough protein in their diet. So I'm with him on that. But if eating 2 meals gets you the nutrients you need in a day, you don't need to eat 4 to 6 meals.
Yeah. The idea of that kind of makes me nauseous. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, he seemed like very set on 4 to 6 meals and that he was not wrong.
And I think that is a red flag too, if you're looking for like a personal trainer of any sort, is that if they're unwilling to budge around like what makes you comfortable and what is already good. Because like the best thing to build a routine is like kind of like slowly incorporating like small changes such that like eventually like it builds into a routine that you want to keep. But then with him, he's like, let's change this and this and this and this. And it's like not listening to what your goals are and what you want to do is kind of like red flaggy.
Yeah, it was a little bit strange because I was also like, well, okay, so for me, I told him like I've tried to like go on this health journey and get really into working out, but like I always fall off the wagon and it's hard to get back up. And he was like, okay, so what triggers that? And I said, usually like a really bad day, like if I'm eating out like one day or something, then like it's hard for me to get back into it. And from there, I would have thought he'd be like moderation and stuff. But then he was like, so how much do you drink alcohol? Do you drink coffee? Do you eat fast food? And he would give me check marks if I said no and put an X if I said yes to any of them. And so that to me was like kind of concerning because I was like, you can't even have a little bit of alcohol, a little bit of coffee, a little bit like a fast food or something. So he was a very stick to it kind of guy.
Like, I think there might be like some of the things that he says like with mobility and stuff might have some merit to it. The nutritional stuff, probably not. The whole like gaslighting on the water situation, like that's a little messed up. Like, why?
Yeah. It felt, yeah, I think everything was going well up until the water thing was the first thing we talked about when we got back. And I was like, whoa, what? We've only been here together for like 45 minutes. You've made me do like light exercise. I don't need to drink water right now. I'm not thirsty.
Yeah, and the final, like, pushing you that hard, that is like, okay. So like, he's a salesperson first and foremost, so I think like the more he critiques about you, like the more that he thinks is going to make his sale. So like, if you think that you have all these things wrong with you and like you need to make drastic changes that you can't make yourself, I think that's what his selling tactic is. And then pushing you at the end is like a huge no-no. Like, if that was me, I'd be like, I'm never coming back to this gym again.
Definitely made me very uncomfortable. And now I know his hours, so I'm gonna go when he's not there.
This is like, so I like kind of did like a fitness assessment at like the old gym that I used to go to. And like at the end, like the guy was like pushing me, like not as hard as this guy was, but like I was like, okay, like I'll think about it. And he's like, no, like you have to like this is the like time limit or something. You have to tell me by the end of today or something. Or like, and this is like the best price, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, okay, like I'm just gonna go work out. Let me think about it. And I never talked to him again.
Did you ever
And I was
run
like,
into him again?
yes, but I just like was with other people, so I just like booked past him, or just like I waved hi or something and never said anything to him again. And like because of him, it made my gym experience a lot worse.
Ugh.
Because I was like scared to run into him again, because I never really like told him. I was like yes or no kind of thing.
Yeah.
I think you should like just not call him. Like, I don't think you should like reach out to him. Like, if he comes up to you next time, you'll just be like, it's not for me. And just like try to like finish the conversation as fast as possible.
Yeah.
I think like, yeah, like minimal, like honestly, like at that point, it's just like minimal contact. Like, you don't have to like go flat out ignoring him, but I think you should just be like I thought about it and it's not for me. Like, you don't owe him anything.
Yeah. All the ladies out there who are like me and given to peer pressure, you don't owe them anything.
I am proud of you though for not saying yes.
I don't have any payment methods, so
I'm proud of you for not bringing any payment methods.
Same.
So that you didn't. Do you think you would have if you had like your credit card on you?
I think I would have been, yeah.
Oh damn.
Yeah, because now that I think about it, yeah, he really like hammers down on your like self-esteem a little bit.
And like talking about your sex life, very inappropriate.
Yeah, I did not love that.
Yeah. And it's not like you like mention anything. You're like, oh, like I need help in my like sexual health or something. Like, if he's the one that brings it up, like you never said it was a concern. Like, yeah, why? Like, it's weird. Like, why talk about this? Like, maybe other people have this concern, but like, again, not for you. He's not a great salesperson.
He was very pushy. A
Yeah.
little bit scary. Yeah. I remember I was like recounting this to Nick and I was like tearing up a little bit too. And I was like, man, now that I think about it, it's not that great. I mean, he had a lot of merit though. A lot of stuff I think I'm going to incorporate more. Like, now I'm kind of calorie tracking. I really hate calorie tracking, but I think it's good for me to see like how much protein am I really getting? How many veggies am I eating? How many calories am I eating per day? So I'm going to do that for a week. And now I'm going to do like some stretching every day. See if that improves. And maybe I will get some friends to watch me work out and yell at me. Hey, Wanda, okay. What you doing?
I don't think you need like friends to yell at you. I think you could go with like positive reinforcement as well.
Yeah, Nick said that he would help me, and I said, but will you really like yell at me like Dobby would though? And he was like, no, I don't think I'd be that mean.
Yeah, I don't. Why would you want someone that mean while you're working out?
To fear how much I love him.
Okay.
I want to love how much I fear him.
Well, that's something you should unravel in therapy. But proud of you for not saying yes to him, and just don't give him the time of day. He does not deserve an ounce more of your time, but I'm glad some of the things that he did say, like stretching, could be added to your daily routine, which I think is good for everyone.
Mm-hmm. Got a long list of things to work on. But
again, take it with it, like take the list with a grain of salt.
I think, you're right. At the end of the day, I need some positive reinforcement to myself. I think that's going to be my biggest motivation, not the negative things, the positive things. Like, this is great, but here's how we can be better.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Live growth, people.
Now I'm truly unapologetically me. No more sorries.
Wait, wrong channel.
Wrong channel. Who's your beef or crush of the week?
So I guess my beef kind of also goes back to body issues, but specifically how shorts are made these days. So I've been on the hunt for my perfect pair of shorts, and I don't know if it's just the style these days, or my body is just not made correctly to what stores think that most bodies look like. But the shorts that fit my waist never fit me in the hips and the thighs. And when I say they don't fit, I mean that they flare out. So, like, if this is my leg, the shorts fit like this. Sorry, audio listeners. Like, it's like there's such a big gap between my leg and like the shorts, and they flare out at the hips. And like, because of that, it makes my hips look absolutely just like massive. And I feel like I look bigger than I would if I like not wearing these shorts. But then because of the excess fabric of me not filling in the hips, it bunches and it makes like weird, like sometimes I get like not really a camel toe, but maybe like a moose knuckle type of situation, which I know is like the guy form of like when your balls are shown. But that's what happens to me. It like kind of like bulges at like the hip area of the all the excess fabric. And I'm like, do I like, is it because when like people who are white who like are the size that I am have bigger hips and legs than I do? Like, am I just is my Asian body just not built for white clothes?
I don't think so. I would say, I don't know, because like the type of shorts that we were talking about, I've seen this like TikToker who's Asian review them, and she like raves about them all the time. So she's not white. I think it's just different. They say they're curve love, but
yes. And so I've tried Abercrombie jeans, and they have that issue where it's like the thigh holes are just so big and the hips have so much bunching. But then if I go like a size down, then it doesn't fit me properly in the waist. I have this problem with Topshop as well. So I've been making a lot of purchases and a lot of returns, which has been very unfortunate. And like I've been watching a lot of like reviews on like YouTube and stuff of people like in shorts, and they're like, oh, these shorts are really good. And then like I go buy them and I'm like, they don't fit me the same way that they fit this person, which is like, yes, like they shouldn't, because everybody's kind of different. But also like I watch people that I think that look like me, but apparently the camera like morphs.
Also maybe they're paid to say this stuff.
But like I see them in these shorts, and I'm like, okay, they look good on them. Like I don't I take everything with like a grain of salt, and like I have to see it for myself. I'm like, okay, like you have a similar body type to me, you look good in these shorts, I'm gonna try these shorts too, and they just fit me drastically differently. And I'm like, heck.
I wish I could give you some advice, but this is a very common problem with every woman in the clothing industry, so you are not alone. If you find some cool shorts, let me know though, because I also have this problem.
Yeah, as someone who wears most of their weight on their lower stomach and their just general like stomach area, I just can't seem to find things that fit me properly.
Oh, again, you are not alone. I know Mindy Kaling has said in her book too, clothes fit her best when they are customized, and who has that kind of money for a custom designer?
She did say something about having like a tailor and becoming best friends with her tailor though. But then I'm like, if I want to pay like $40 for shorts, which is already like an insane amount of money for shorts, and then spend like $100 on a tailor, like
it's to make them look really good. Like Mindy Kaling looks amazing, and she's not like white. She's not skinny. Like she has a great body. She makes the clothes fit her.
Yeah, I guess I shouldn't make this like a race issue. This is like an all women kind of issue. I'm sorry. I shouldn't make this a race issue.
Nice. I'm sorry. Um, I hope it will get better. I just think clothing sizes are just super weird and deformed lately, like even more than usual. That's why I couldn't tell if I was like gaining weight or like more bloated than usual. But yeah, everything's just been like super weird lately.
Yeah. And it's strange because like a lot of clothing brands are moving into the like more inclusive sizes, so having even smaller sizes and having even bigger sizes. But somehow not
Mm-hmm.
still not as inclusive as we would like it to be.
Mm-hmm. They just, yeah, they just don't get women's bodies.
Anyways, what's your beef or crush of the week?
My crush is Halsey. I went to the Halsey concert a couple days ago. Ticketmaster had this promotion where it was like $25 for lawn tickets. It was great. Plus side to everyone who goes to Budweiser stage in Toronto, you can actually bring in food. It just has to be like plastic wrapped. Yeah, I looked this up too because I was looking up something about water because I was like, there's no way I'm going to pay like $5 for a bottle of water. I get so thirsty. And Nick was like, are you sure you should look up the rules? And I did. And I was like, holy shit, I found out now. You can bring in food. You can bring in one bottle of water, a backpack. Yeah, that's it. It has to be a sealed bottle, plastic bottle of water though. But way better than like paying $5 there. It's the principle of the matter. So yeah, I went with Prabby. It was a great concert. I love her. There were so many songs I did not know. I knew maybe like 3 songs. It was great. I'm in my Halsey phase right now. There's so many good songs. I think you would like her too, actually. She has a lot of like, I think you do like her, but I think she has a lot of like emo punk, pop punk songs.
Yeah, when she came out with You Should Be Sad, I went through a whole Halsey phase for like a couple of months.
Nice.
I'm pretty sure she was my crush of the week on the pod. If,
I think
like,
I remember this now. Yes.
multiple
We
weeks
talked
back.
about Without Me.
Yeah.
She is now my crush. I did not have a big Halsey phase. I just liked her casually. But now I'm really into her. She's great. She has great breath control. She's a great singer.
Yeah, she is absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, holy. What else did I have to say? Oh yeah, my next concert is One Republic. I will be bringing a feast in. And for all of you guys too, save money. Bring in a feast.
So when you say plastic wrap, like, do you mean like sealed bags are okay? Like a chip bag thing?
It has to be clear. That's the only thing.
Oh, okay.
So you could buy a bag of chips and then put it in a Ziploc bag.
Oh, so you can just bring Ziploc bag things of food in.
I have to check that because I think it said plastic wrap, but I'm sure I saw someone bringing in a Ziploc bag with food.
Okay,
Wait,
but like, so you can plastic wrap your food?
I guess so, yeah.
Huh.
Like the saran wrap thing. But I also saw someone with a plastic case of muffins behind me.
So maybe like any clear container.
Yeah, I guess so. Now, we'll move on to our favorite movies from the 2010 to 2019. Wanda, give us your first favorite movie from the 2010s to 2019s.
So I talked about this last time, but 22 Jump Street is one of my most iconic favorite movies to ever exist. I don't know why. I hate 21 Jump Street, but 22, the jokes in it are just so like chef's kiss. They're like jokes that are puns, not like slapstick humor, which is like I think the difference between 21 and 22. So, for example, there was this part where they're called 22 Jump Street now because they had to move across the street. And then there was like a thing that's like a sign across the road that was like coming soon, 23 Jump Street. And like they kind of like made a riff off of that. And I thought that was great. Anyways.
Instead of Korean Jesus, they have Vietnamese Jesus.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
So inclusive.
Love it.
So inclusive.
I remember so vividly watching this in theaters with you, and you died laughing so hard every like other second. I remember the Schmidt sleeping with the captain's daughter thing literally had you in stitches. Like you could not stop laughing about it. So this makes sense why it was your favorite movie.
it was also there's a scene where it's the scene where the captain finds out that he's been sleeping with his daughter, and like Channing Tatum's character is in the background, like behind his office, just like laughing on the glass. And that was my cover photo for multiple years on Facebook because it was just chef's kiss Channing Tatum.
Channing Tatum should only be in those kinds of roles.
I mean, like he was pretty good in She's the Man too.
He should only be in those two types of roles.
Aw, don't typecast him. I forgot we saw it together.
Mhm.
Aw.
I remember so vividly.
Yeah, so I guess like this one isn't that surprising. Will it hold up? Yes, I am probably gonna watch it again tonight.
Yeah, now I'm thinking about it. It was pretty great. I know a lot of people on TikTok at one point were just like reciting Schmidt's poem, Cynthia. She died for your sins, Cynthia.
it like should have won an Oscar, really.
It was pretty great.
Is it on your list?
No, it actually isn't. It was a great movie though.
What's yours?
My favorite, obviously, is The Avengers. It literally blew my mind watching it. I love that movie so much. I've seen it probably 50 times. It just really like sparked my whole. It wasn't the first Marvel movie I watched, but it was the first one that I was like, holy shit, this is amazing. And it was the only thing I talked about for so long. And I remember seeing it in theaters at least 3 times. So this is a great movie. Will it hold up today? Yes. Is our society being oversaturated by all these Marvel movies? Yes. Will I still continue to watch it? Probably. I think I'm behind actually on a lot of shows. I think my only commentary about the Marvel movies is that I'm a little bit sad that you have to watch so many movies to get the inside scoop and get the Easter eggs and jokes and stuff. And yeah, you could laugh and stuff, but like you won't really appreciate it until you've really watched all the other stuff leading up to it, which I think is kind of a pain because then you can't get new fans and a new fan base into it.
Yeah, I don't know. Like Jordan like watched them like here and there and he was like fine, but he did ultimately end up watching like every single one in order.
See,
but like you can
get
but
you.
It's okay though because you can watch them like sparingly, and then like if you really get into it, then you can invest in the time to watch it from the beginning.
Yeah, true.
Like Harry Potter, but like there's less continuity, I think.
There's so much continuity in Marvel, and we know I have commitment issues.
I'm shocked that Avengers was the movie that kind of got you into Marvel.
It like really got me into Marvel. Like this was a thing that made me really obsessed because I think I watched the stuff leading up to it, but I think it was only Iron Man, Captain America.
Which were great movies. The first Iron Man was great. The first Captain America was great.
I think when it came out, though, I didn't really appreciate it at the time because I was young. And now I think I recently went back to watch it and I appreciated Iron Man. It was great. The first Captain America, I just thought he was hot. I didn't think it was a great movie.
Yeah, okay, I can see that. Fair.
Okay. What? Oh yeah, the Thor movie too. Didn't really appreciate. I thought it was kind of like not my thing.
I didn't like the first okay, so Thor Ragnarok is like my next, I guess, favorite movie, but I didn't like the first few Thors because it was very like I think it was like a director choice kind of thing. They changed directors from like 1, 2, and then Ragnarok. But
yeah,
the first like 2 directors, it was more dark and like gloomy, and like I think that was just the general vibe of what Thor was back in the day. Actually, Thor 1 was okay. Thor 2, not so great.
Yeah, they made him really not funny.
But then Taika Waititi.
Yeah.
Taika Waititi came and just like I guess blew the doors wide open. Even though he's like a very problematic person, he does have like good, I guess, directing skills.
He seems like he's great at his job, like acting, directing. But yeah, his personal life, I hear some weird stuff.
Yeah, a lot of issues with his ex-wife.
Oof.
A lot of issues. But if we can put that to the side just for now. Well, not to put it
We're
to the
only
side,
looking
but
at him professionally.
yeah, looking at him professionally, but still taking into account that he is a problematic person. Like
Hmm.
he is Thor, great movie.
Hmm.
Ragnarok, so funny. What's her name? Who played like
Natalie Portman?
no, like it's like
Oh, Kate
Helga.
Blanchett.
Kate Blanchett was like an amazing.
I
What
love
was
her. Sister Hella?
Hella? I was like Helga, Helen. I was like none of these feel right. But yeah, and it was like Loki, and then it was just a really great movie.
Mhm.
I just had to like that. You talking about the Avengers triggered this. This is the movie that I constantly go back to and can rewatch constantly.
Same. Okay. Another one of my favorites is Booksmart, the movie that came out in 2019. And I know Juana doesn't really like it that much, but I thought it was so funny, so great. It's directed by Olivia Wilde, Caitlin Dever, and Beanie Feldstein, Jonah Hill's sister. Um, I think it is super funny. It's like a coming of age kind of movie. These two nerdy girls in high school, they're like super into their studies, super into Ivy Leagues, and you're like the general rule at that high school is you can't talk about what university you get into. So they're thinking they're top shit, and then they find out like the rest of their peers had also gotten into Ivy League schools too. So their peers had a good balance where they could party and also get into these great schools. And these girls were like, we're going to be better than them because we don't party. And then they're like, let's party. And I think it's just such a great movie.
I could not even like I couldn't. I tried watching it. I couldn't finish it. I don't think I even got like 20 minutes in, and I was like, this is not for me.
I love that movie. I've only watched it twice, but I really enjoy that movie. Like, I only found out about it like very recently, probably last year. But I love it.
I think I confused this movie with like eighth grade.
Is that the Bo Burnham one? Elsie Fisher?
Yeah.
Oh, I couldn't finish that movie. It was too cringy.
Okay. Maybe I watched that one. Now I'm
Mm.
not so sure.
I feel like you would love Booksmart. It's on Prime, I think.
It's on Netflix too.
Oh, okay. What's your favorite movie? Oh, also, will it stand up today? Yes, it will stand up because it just came out like 3 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like 2019. If it couldn't stand up, like that would be problematic.
Yikes. Okay, what's your favorite?
So going into the trend, I thought this movie came out in 2020, but it was actually 2019. Same director, Jojo Rabbit.
Same,
This
same. I
movie
only
made me.
watched it 2 weeks ago.
Oh, okay. That's okay. You watched it though. That's good. I watched this on the airplane coming back from Vancouver. We laughed, we cried, expressed joy, sadness, the whole spectrum of emotion. Um, just so funny. And it like takes like a very like important topic and like makes it like it's like a comedy, but like it's a drama. And then there's like that part where you find I don't want to spoil it because it is still a relatively new movie, even though it's like 2-3 years old. But it's just like the kid acting is so good in this movie.
He has that one friend, like the chubby little British boy. I forget his name, like Augie or something like that.
Yeah.
I literally love that kid so much. He was so sweet. And he was just like, you could see he was on the wrong side, but he was like, I don't really understand why I'm here.
And I think that's kind of like a commentary too, where it's like most people who were part of like I guess the Nazi youth didn't really know what they were doing.
Mm-hmm.
They were kind of just part of it because that's what you were to do.
Yeah. Um, Side story. I saw a clip of Taika Waititi's interview about Jojo Rabbit because he directed it and he was also Hitler in that movie. And
Yeah.
he was like, I'm the most lazy actor. I don't do any research. Hitler, I didn't even bother trying to do a German accent. I just did my impression of him.
That is what our podcast is.
So I really appreciate that. I feel like it would have been bad if he actually did research. Like I'm glad he like did it to his own thing.
Yeah. To be fair, most of the time Hitler was like cooked out on meth. So
Thanks.
who was the real Hitler, really? What's your next one?
Who? It's the same director, but I'm going to say, oh man, okay, I'm gonna say Little Women. I Okay, at first I was gonna say Ladybird because I saw it on the airplane and I loved it so much. She was so angsty and weird. But now I think more about it and I'm like, I think I like oh, Ladybird was also the first time I met Timothy Chalamet and I fell in love with him. But I fell more in love with him in Little Women. I just thought it was such a beautiful movie. I really like their take on Amy, who is a very hated character in Little Women from the original books, and they made her like pretty likable. And that's when I also met Florence Pugh, who I also love. Will it survive today? Yes, it will. Do I rewatch it? No, I only found out about it again, like a couple years ago. It's not a funny movie. It's more of like a beautiful movie to watch in my free time.
I've been tempted to watch it, but I just haven't been in the right mind space to watch it.
Yeah, you really do have to be in the right mindset because it is a little bit slow, but I think it's very beautiful.
Is it like kind of like historic? Like, is it in like a different era?
Yeah,
Okay.
kind of like I want to say the Regency era, but like not really. More of like the era after that, like the working class, 1900s probably, 1800s. No.
The Regency era was like the early 1800s, I'm pretty
Okay,
sure.
so it was after that. So they still wore like fancy things and they had balls and stuff, but you saw more of like the working class side of it.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, because I've been really into Bridgerton. Um, so it might be the right time for me to watch this movie.
Mm, yeah, Bridgerton is more of like the rich people side.
Oh, okay. Well, now I don't know.
But you do see
um,
like parts of it, so I guess it's like a little bit after the Regency era.
okay. I mean, I don't think like okay, maybe
Hmm.
I'll consider it. I'll add
Hmm.
it to my watch list.
What's your favorite?
Okay, so next one is part of the Twilight movies, the Twilight Saga, Breaking Dawn Part 2.
I
You
did
should know
not think
this.
I did not think you'd seriously say it though. Like I thought
I
you liked it. I didn't think it was like a favorite.
No, this is like
Whoa.
of all the Twilight movies. Like, so what Harry Potter was to Maggie was what Twilight was to me.
I love
Less
it.
obsession though, I guess.
I love it.
um, but the first few movie, like the first movie was fine. The second movie got a lot worse. The third movie got a lot worse. Part one, Breaking Dawn, was pretty good, but then part two, very good. There's such a like good little ending tidbit in there. Like a great fight scene. I don't know. I think it's the ending that really gets me in that movie. Like everything else is just like fine. Like she finally like Bella finally becomes a vampire. She's super strong. It's kind of cool. They have a daughter. There's a weird little segment in there about like Jacob grooming their daughter. But apparently we just brushed past that. Surprised there wasn't more commentary and questions about why this was okay. But I think because they were both ethical things.
Hmm. I guess people were okay with it at the time. And I think
Yeah.
because Twilight was still on like kind of a high, no one was really gonna question it that much.
I mean, like, it makes sense. Like, it ties everything together well, and it gives him the happy ending as well. But also, it's very, very questionable happy ending because he does say something like, "Oh, like when she's growing up, I'll be her older brother, and then I'll be her boyfriend or something." I'm like, "Oh."
I don't like that. I don't like that.
Also with like imprinting, which is like what werewolves do when they find like their soulmate, like the werewolf imprints, but does the other person have a choice?
Unconsensual grooming.
Because it's like, does the other person feel the same like thing? Like, do they have to like be with this person? Like, is there free will there?
I don't know. This is great questions for Stephanie Meyer.
um, they're not going to be answered. I hope.
No.
Well, like honestly, I hope they're not answered because it's like I feel like once an author comes back and tries to clarify things or add things to like an already published like story, it just like adds fuel to a fire that we don't need.
Yeah.
Looking at you, J.K. Rowling.
Yuck. Big yuck.
Anyways, what's your next one?
My next favorite is Rogue One. It's from the Star Wars franchise. It's a spin-off of it. I just thought that movie was so good. I have rewatched that movie so many times because the acting is great. I really like oh shoot, what's that guy's name? He plays Ip Man. Donnie Wu? Donnie something? Anyways, if you've seen Ip Man, you'll know him. But he's so great. He's a great actor. I won't spoil it, but it's like, yeah, it doesn't have a great ending. But I really enjoyed that movie. It kind of like set the precedent of if you're going to do a one-shot movie and try to milk some money, this is how you do it. Great sense of humor. Will it survive today? Yes, it would. It came out not too long ago.
Most, like 90% of these movies, 95, 99% might still survive today. Like they're not like, maybe like 2010s, like there would be iffiness, but like these are pretty new movies.
Yeah, it was a pretty great movie.
Yeah.
You have not seen it, have you?
No, I don't. Yeah. Like I've watched the prequels to the Star Wars movies, and I was like, okay, and
I think the first three were mostly about government stuff, so they're not that exciting.
Yeah, but like that's what starts the whole thing.
Like technically, yeah, you should be going 1, 2, 3, but you know, like 4, 5, 6 like first.
No, but then I watched them in order.
Oh, you watched? I haven't even watched them in order.
I've watched like all of them in order.
So you love Star Wars?
No.
Wow, you've seen all of them.
Well, like I was told to watch all of them. It was forced and thrust upon me to watch all of them.
Oh my.
Because I'm just such a considerate and easygoing person. So like I watched all of them. I didn't enjoy them, but I watched all of them. I like the Harry Potter movies more. I'll just put that in there.
I'm more of a Harry Potter gal. Yeah, I don't love the Star Wars. I think they're really entertaining. I wouldn't go back and really watch them, except maybe with Nick, because he said he's never seen them and wants to. But yeah, I think Rogue One is the only one I've repeatedly watched.
Even if Jordan said he wanted to watch them, I'd be like, okay, we can put it on, and then I'm gonna go scroll through my phone.
I do that now with Candy Crush. Nice. Okay. Last one.
Oh no, but I have 3 more. Oh
my god.
Okay, wait. I'll go through all 3 of them really quickly.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so it's Tangled, which is like a remake of the Rapunzel story. I think it's great animation. It's my second most favorite Disney princess movie. I love Flynn Rider, the Smolder. If you've seen it, I think it's so cute. It's very emotional, very great. My second one is Crazy Stupid Love with Ryan Gosling and Steve Carell. That movie also made me fall in love with Ryan Gosling. There's that part when they do the dirty dancing thing, and like he Emma Stone comes down in his arms, and then like there's that look, and I was like, oh wow, Ryan Gosling is so hot. Yeah. And then it all comes together really well in the end. And then the last one is We're the Millers, which is
I love that one.
On par. It was on par with 22 Jump Street, but I think 22 Jump Street edges it ahead. It's about like an unconventional family, let's say, who does some drug smuggling, and Jennifer Aniston. Hot.
Mm-hmm. Shows her range.
I mean, still, that's kind of the same person.
Nice. I love all those movies. I can't pinpoint a favorite coming up. I just have honorable mentions, I guess.
I have one too.
Okay, I'll let you go first. Oh my god! Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, the second one. I love that movie. I just saw that it came up. Sorry I'm only listing franchise things, but I just love that movie so much.
Did we watch that one together?
No, I think we watched part 1 together.
Oh, okay.
Or maybe it was part 2, I can't remember.
Part 2 was better.
Yeah, part 2 was the best one. It's always the last one that's always the best.
Avengers Part 2. Yeah, because I think I like the conclusion. Like part 1 sets it up, but it's always usually like a cliffhanger of some sort. But then like part 2 is where you get the real like climax of the story and everything concludes. And I'm like,
yeah, and always the big fight scenes.
Yeah.
There's a scene in part 2 that really fucks me up though. It's when that werewolf is like sucking on he killed Ron's ex-girlfriend, and then he's sucking on her blood in front of them. Like she's like upside down and he's like sucking on her neck. And that scene just like always fucks me up a little bit. And I know it's supposed to be like symbolic of like, oh god, their childhood is dead. Now Hermione has no one to be jealous of or like be spiteful towards. And she's the one who like blasts that werewolf away from Ron's ex. But yeah, that scene always messes me up because I don't like it.
It's like a good, like, how to get rid of an ex-girlfriend.
Get this serial killer to take over the school.
Yeah, easy.
Easy.
What are your final ones?
Grand Budapest Hotel. I really enjoyed that movie. It was kind of quirky and weird. I've only seen it twice since it came out in 2014. So I don't know if it's a favorite. It's just an honorable mention. And I really enjoyed Silver Linings Playbook. Back in the day, I had very little internet. So I had downloaded this movie and I had rewatched this movie repeatedly for some reason. And my friends kept wanting to see it in theaters and I kept saying sure. So I've seen it also so many times, paid and non-paid. I don't know why. It's like not that great of a movie.
This is like a reoccurring thing with you. Like
I just keep going to the theaters and spending money.
Yeah, and it's not cheap.
Yeah, I got issues. I just like, oh, I'll spend time with you guys. Well, why not? We'll just sit here in silence watching this thing together.
Which is like, how is it spending time together?
I don't know. I want to say another Marvel movie, Guardians of the Galaxy, which is great. But
yeah, soundtrack of both the Guardian of the Galaxy movies. Oh, Sean Gunn.
As Sean Gunn.
Wait.
James Gunn, the director.
James Gunn.
Sean Gunn is Kirk.
No, Sean